Blake, what's the last month or even longer been for you leading up to this, being on the roster of the Marlies?
Oh, it's been stressful for sure. I mean, going into my first real camp, under contract, it's been fun. I've been trying to enjoy it and just whatever happens mentality, and yeah, it's been fun so far.
Take me through a training camp and what your daily looks like each day setting up. Or is it just kind of show up and get at it, or is there a method that you kind of got at every day?
Yeah, I normally come in, get some breakfast in me, stretch out, do a little workout, just prepare for the ice time, and then go out and practice. Just work my hardest, try my best, and do whatever I can.
The mental side of this part of the equation a little bit bigger, seemingly coming out of junior and into pro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm trying to keep my same mentality I had in junior, the way I play, and keep my identity and find a role here, and just try and stay positive.
For those fans who aren't familiar, what do you consider your identity?
My identity is I'm a big defensive defenseman who likes to play hard, throw big hits when I can, and then stick up for my teammates with some fights here and there.
You just see your cousin sign with the Leafs and goaltender Caden Primo. What was that moment like for you guys?
Yeah, I was excited. I texted him right away. I was pretty fired up. So we'll see. I think he got into town last night. Have to grab some dinner with him soon. Should be good.
We're close family, all of you?
Yeah, we're very close. We all got cottages on the same lake, so we normally spend time in the summer together.
So what are the expectations for you coming into, as I say, you make the roster, you got 2 games this weekend. What are your expectations in the early part of the season and what you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and do my best to stay in the lineup and do whatever I can to help the team, whatever way that is.
Landon, that seemed like a busy month of hockey for you. What was the month like leading up to, getting a spot here on the roster for the Marlies?
Yeah, a lot of hard work. I just came to camp, going to put my nose down and work my hardest and, battle as hard as I could every day. And I knew if I did that, good things would happen. And it's all been working out so far, and I just got to keep working and bringing it even more every day.
Played a lot of winning hockey over the last few years in junior. How does that contribute to the mindset heading into professional hockey?
Yeah, last 3 years went on big playoff runs, so a lot of big games. So I find like the transition, playing those big games where everything's on the line, helps out a lot. Playing these preseason games and rookie tournament games, there's a lot on the line there, and I think mentally I was ready just because last 3 years playing those big games in London, Memorial Cup, OHL playoffs, helped out for sure.
What do you? It's tough to put this question out there because it's you don't necessarily know what's down the road. But what are your expectations on yourself here in the early part of the season?
Yeah, I just want to work hard, help the team win, do whatever it takes. I'm not a guy that's going to go score on the power play. I'm going to block shots. I'm going to hit. Get to the net and do what's needed for the team. The dirty work. I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy playing a role. So I just want to keep doing that and. Just keep working on my game and getting better every day. So yeah.
How valuable is it to have some of these guys around that have been through more than a few games? A lot of veteran presence here with the Marlies.
Yeah, for sure. All the vets are great. They all played. And then we have like Gio and Cliffy around too that played a lot of games and been Stanley Cup playoffs and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people lean to, and it's been great so far.
John, a little bit more manageable roster here today, just one group. How's it feel to get cut down to a seasonable and manageable level?
Well, I think it's important. You do want making sure the numbers are right so everyone gets their reps, and we get through practice. With a number of guys here that, again, it's a manageable number, so that's important.
What do you guys work on today? You seem to be running practice at a really quick clip, not only today but over the last week.
Yeah, we're trying to spend little time at the board, using this ice time to get our reps, game-like, a lot of D-zone coverage. We want to create that identity that we're tough to play against, and it starts in the D-zone. because the more times you can get plays killed and go play in the offensive zone, it's important. So, we're really doubling down on that right now because it's a huge part of what our identity will have to be in order for us to have success. So it's the players definitely brought the energy and the juice today.
A couple of guys make this team and make an impression on you to stay around. Landon Sim, Blake Smith. I wonder what your impressions are on what they brought over training camp and over the last month.
Well, they're hockey players. Both of them are gamers, I believe. They know what their role is. They're hungry. They want to make an impression, and they've done a great job of that so far. So now they, want to continue to learn how to be a pro. That's the next step, and we have enough veteran guys, enough leadership in that locker room to help them out with that as well. So it just won't come from us. It'll come from some of their teammates as well.
What do you set for the agenda with just a game already on the horizon, not even a horizon, Friday? What do you set for your agenda for this week?
Yeah, so again, we want to make sure we have that pace like you talked about. You see how, practice are pretty tense. We'll start to touch on some special teams and some face-offs, some game-like things. So, our guys understand what we're, how we want to play and be prepared for it. And then come, Friday, it's going to come sooner than later. They'll be ready and they'll have the energy to focus in on and be ready for Rochester.
Sometimes it'd be a difficult time for some of these guys. They want to make the NHL and they get sent down. What positives can come from that, especially with a team with a bunch of younger guys?
Well, I think, some guys, again, they're here, let's make the best of it. Let's make sure that they're working on their game. They're still refining it and working on things that they're going to need to. And also for some guys that aren't used to in that role, maybe they were more on the younger side. Now they're older coming down here, and they can really utilize that to help some of the younger players like the Sims and the Smiths, like we talked about. So it's important, and we want to make them feel comfortable. It's an adjustment for some of the guys, so you also got to be mindful of that. But at the end of the day, we're still here to try to develop hockey players, and we want to make sure we put them in the best environment.
Speaking of that, for a guy like Luke Hames, what's a good season look like for him to you?
Yeah, I just think just as learning how to be a pro, and he's got the right mindset of it. Now it's just understanding the consistency. I think he's always trending in the right direction. He can make plays, but if he understands how to be a pro consistently, that's going to be the for him to be able to make that next step. That's going to be a huge part of it.